say retirement is about what you've accumulated, but what if I told you that that's backwards? It's not about what you buy, it's about what you sell. Before you retire, it's time to get ruthless. Shed the stuff dragging you down, free up the life you've actually been saving for, and maybe create a little extra cash flow while we're at it. It's your favourite Scotsman here again. Let's dive into 5 things you should seriously think about selling before you retire. Starting with the big one, the house that's too big. The kids are long gone. Your guest room is now basically a walk-in closet. Big houses mean big bills, rising property taxes, higher utility costs, and endless maintenance headaches. Plus, let's be honest, moving in your 60s is way easier than doing it when you're in your 70s or 80s. Selling now means fewer worries, more flexibility, and yes, maybe a nice chunk of cash in your pocket. And speaking of downsizing, let's shift gears. Pun very much intended, and talk about the second thing worth selling before retirement. That second or third car taking up space in your driveway. If you're done commuting to work, why keep paying insurance, maintenance and depreciation on vehicles you hardly use? Trust me, if my family can manage with one car in the GTA, you probably can too. Cutting down to one car can save you thousands of dollars a year on gas, insurance, maintenance and annual services. When you account for interest on top of your principal, the average cost of owning a car in Canada is over $16,000 a year according to Rate Hub's report. That's not a pocket change, that's a vacation, or 3. And the best part, it's not even that hard. A wee bit of coordination and maybe the occasional "who needs the car today" chat. And most couples find they don't really need 2 cars anymore. For the odd time your schedules clash, just grab an Uber. It's way cheaper than carrying the cost of a second vehicle year round. Of course, I do appreciate that, if you don't live in an urban area, that may be difficult. Now that we've cleared the driveway, let's take a peek inside your portfolio, because the next thing worth selling might not be sitting in your garage, but buried in your investment statements. Let's talk about the stuff in your portfolio that's quietly costing you a fortune. High-fee mutual funds, complicated annuities, and whole life insurance you don't really understand. You've probably asked yourself, what exactly am I paying for? And if you haven't, you should. In Canada, mutual funds with fees well in excess of 2% are still shockingly common. And unless you're getting full financial planning, tax strategy, estate guidance, the whole works, you're probably overpaying. This isn't a Quest Trade ad, but seriously, if you're paying top dollar, it's fair to expect comprehensive service. Quick pause here. If you're thinking I should probably get a better plan in place, you're not alone. That's exactly why we put together our free retirement guide. You can grab yours from the link in the pinned comment below. I've had dozens tell me it's the best they've read, and if you need help personalising any of this with insights to your own needs, I'll be ready to help. Alright, we've tackled the big stuff. The house, the car and the clutter in your portfolio. Now let's talk about the other clutter, the kind that's hiding in your garage, your storage locker or maybe even the backyard. Jet skis, RVs, boats, timeshares. They seem like a brilliant idea at the time, but if they're collecting more dust than memories, it might be time to say thank you very much and sell. These toys come with hefty costs, insurance, storage and maintenance, as well as the guilt when you're not using them enough to justify it. If you're not excited to fire it up next weekend, maybe somebody else will be, and they'll happily pay you for the privilege. Plus, you can always rent if the urge strikes. Alright, we've talked homes, cars, investments and toys, but now let's get into something a little more personal. The projects you've poured your time and energy into. Because sometimes the hardest thing to sell is the thing you built yourself. Whether it's a consulting gig, a rental property, or a small business that you started on the side. Just ask yourself, is it still serving you? Many retirees hang on because it's familiar, or it brings in a wee bit of income. But if it's draining your time and energy, or keeping you tied down when you'd rather be free, it might be time to consider selling. You don't need to walk away with nothing. There's often real value in what you've built, but if it's become more chore than choice, then maybe think about cashing out. Alright, before we wrap up, a few quick honourable mentions. First up, storage units. Unless it's hiding a vintage bottle of Macallan or a Group of 7 original, it's probably overpriced square footage for junk you forgot you owned. Sell it, donate it or bin it, but for the love of retirement, cancel the bill. Then there are duplicate accounts. I've seen people with 5 bank accounts, 3 TFSAs, and more logins than they could possibly remember. And lastly, let's talk about the just in case stuff. You know what I mean? The old camping gear. Tools, mystery electronics, all tucked away for that mythical day you might need them. I've got boxes in my own basement that haven't been opened since we moved in. We're all guilty of it. But if you haven't used it in 5 years, you'll probably never use it. Time to get rid of it. Maybe consider replacing it with my free retirement guide, which just so happens to be pinned in the notes below. And if you're wondering what else you should be doing before retirement, I've got a full breakdown in this video right here.